Today I made a new poll in Twitter asking people whether they think that news outlets should finally report the fact that Bernie Sanders is still a presidential candidate. In consideration of the PDF file online where California's Secretary of State's Elections Division has included Bernard Bernie Sanders in the list of officially certified write in candidates for the office of President of the United States of America. So far, 94% have answered yes, absolutely. 4% have answered yes, I think so. 0% have answered no, I think not. And 2% have answered no, absolutely not. What I really wonder is why anyone at all thinks that the truth should continue to remain hidden from so many people. I think we should challenge the media to either report the news or stop claiming that's what they do. I've tried asking various news agencies to report the fact that Bernie Sanders is still running for president, and for the most part, it seems that the news agencies I contact either are unaware of this fact and unwilling to investigate the possibility that there might be something they don't know, or are aware of it but intentionally trying to cover it up, even going as far as to attempt to convince people who call in with such news that they are mistaken. I say this because those who try to tell me I'm wrong generally hang up on me when I tell them why I know and how the facts can be verified. Just because Bernie isn't out campaigning doesn't mean he quit running for president. He has not resigned, nor conceded, nor quit, nor dropped out, nor anything of the sort. Yes, he endorsed his political opponent who cheated him out of his rightful place on the general election ballot. But obviously, he didn't have much of a choice in the matter if he didn't want the DNC to help the Republican nominee win the presidency and blame him for what they made happen. In fact, he also has other valid reasons for running silently, not the least of which is to get the people to stop expecting the work of politics to all be done for them and somehow still end up being a democracy. That's not how democracy works. If we don't participate, there's no way for the system to be democratic. And no, the fact that one faction of the two headed political cartel we call the major parties has named itself the Democratic Party with a capital D doesn't change that. If we want democracy, we have to work at it. If we organize, it might be less work for each of us as individuals, but it might also be less democratic than a grassroots democracy. I've just heard that Wisconsin is on the verge of getting Bernie acknowledged officially by their Secretary of State as a valid writing candidate. They found a way. And it's not the same way as we did it here in California. Little by little, people are doing what Bernie suggested. They're standing together and fighting for what they want, which at this time is to fight back against having another coin toss election facade imposed on us. Win as many states for Bernie Sanders in the presidential election as we can, and demand that Congress allow us to have the president that the people chose, rather than the one that cheating and underhanded collaboration chose. So, check the description text attached to this video for links to the Twitter poll that I mentioned earlier, and another one like it in Facebook. Share them with everyone you can, or just share this video and let people check for the links themselves. Looks like the 1% have already cast 2% of the votes in the Twitter poll so far. Can they keep it up? Twitter polls run a maximum of 1 week. So let's see if the 1% manage to keep the votes for no, absolutely not at its present 2%. Increase it over the next 6 days, or watch their votes to keep the truth hidden get buried by the votes of people who would rather convince news reporters to actually report news while it's still news. rather than waiting until everybody finds out about it on their own.